We are the Porter Brothers, and we are live.
Hello, we are live. Good afternoon. Actually, it's still morning. Good morning, Texas. Good morning, Louisiana, as well as around the world. We are loving it here, doing this thing, I'll tell you what, so excited about this AtCost Metals deal and being involved in the precious metal business, period, and getting it at cost. Just so exciting, especially with everything that we have going on in the world.
That's right. And we're using AtCostMetals.club. And it's one of those timeless investments. And we built a structure. Well, we joined a structure, and it's a part of the economic landscape of everything that's going on right now between inflation and cryptocurrencies and taking private properties. And we're really looking forward to the long history that gold and silver have provided for societies. And it's one of the most adoptable currencies that you could ever use. It goes back through our entire lifespan of history of human lifespan, really. As far as finding some shiny gold, you're going to want to hold on to it, and you're going to be able to trade it.
Well, that's absolutely correct. There's a few things, and guys, we're crypto guys, right? I mean, unabashedly or unapologetically crypto. We're the crypto bros. We've been around the world. We've done it all, right? From the beginning to the end. We've been talking about this monetary revolution. It's a monetary revolution for a long time. And gold and silver are a very important part of the monetary revolution. Of course, you want to have your Bitcoins, and you want to have your Litecoins and your Global Boost and your other coins as well. Now, you got to be careful because, you don't want stuff to be able to be seized, frozen, stolen, or frozen or stopped, right? So those old blockchains, the mineable proof of work blockchains are where you want to be. But other than that, guys, you need to be in silver and gold. They're inflating our currency through the roof right now. It's absolutely insane what they're doing.
It's true. It's insane. And my advice is simple. Make it a monthly habit. And what they've developed is a club membership, kind of like your Costco or your Sam's Club or some of your other departments. And you're able to get these precious metals at cost, shipped to you monthly. It's a very sound investment. We call it sound money, right? Because it's always going to hold its value. It's used for computer devices. It's used for your health. You're able to eat selenium, silver, and it can cure your diseases, and it's antibacterial and amazing things like this. It's the product of the Lord, as they say.
It is the product of the Lord, yeah. As they say. David getting on the pulpit there.
Yeah, man.
Brother David on the pulpit.
It's hard not to get excited about gold and silver, right?
It really is. It's one of those things, as you were talking about the other day, when you hold it, right? When you hold it in your hands and you have it, it's really something else, something that you don't want to let go. And you understand that's money. Your paper money that you have right now, I know we talk about it all the time, but the paper money that you have right now will be worthless. It will be worthless one day. And actually, if you look at the gold chart, gold is up about 9% this year. And the reason why it's up 9% is because of inflation, right? I mean, the same amount of gold is, buys you a house or buys you this, that, or the other. And I'm sorry, it's up for the past year. It's up about 6.7, almost 7%. Might have been up a little bit higher earlier today when we were looking at that. I'm just share my screen just so you see that. But you can imagine. So if gold is up 7%. 6.5%, that means pretty much that your dollars are down this much. And so that's why it's important to be in gold. It's important to be in silver. It's important to be in property. It's important to have hedges against what's going on. Crypto can be one of them. You just need to, you got to be careful. Okay. And this is the gold futures that I'm showing right here. But you got to be careful. You want to make sure that you have the real stuff. Just like gold, the reason why the gold price right now is as low as it is because they're keeping it down with paper. I had a great conversation with a gentleman who is going to join our Money in the Morning show tomorrow, and we may replay him during this show as well. You can see, actually, if you look at silver futures here over the past year are actually down, which is what they're doing is they're keeping the price down so that they can accumulate, so that they can accumulate. Now, if you toggle it into 5 years, of course, it's up 50%. Let's look at gold if you toggle it there. But what they're doing right now is the same thing they did with Bitcoin for years. They kept the price down a lot. So you see 5 years on that is up over 50%. They keep the price down in order to accumulate. And these very powerful families, the central bankers, are accumulating these assets. The central banks are buying gold at record rates. Russia, you saw buying gold at record rates, gold, silver. China, the same thing. They understand they don't want your paper money. The paper money is worthless. It can be used now. Okay, it can be used now, so it's not worthless now, but it will be worthless. And actually, it's a debt instrument. So every $100 that you use, every $100 that you borrow from the central bank, which is all you're doing is you're borrowing the dollars from the central bank. It's absolutely unbelievable situation that we have going on. Is then you have to pay $3 on it. We have to pay, and that's why the national debt is so high, and that's why we're not digging our way out of any of this mess that we're in. So I wanted to share with you a little bit of how the central bank started. Okay, this is how the central bank started, and with the Rothschilds, and I'm going to go through a little bit, and you're going to understand a little bit more about how this is working and how your money, if you continue to use it right now, you will be more poor. You will become more poor. That is absolutely correct. And if you start to get into different things that are real money, you're going to be able to save yourself. So watch this.
Jekyll Island, where in 1910, representatives from the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Morgans, and other private bankers gathered secretly to draft the legislation that would create the Federal Reserve. I found it revealing that in the same year the Federal Reserve was founded, 1913, the Internal Revenue Service was also established. An income tax was then instigated so you and I would have to pay the politicians' debt plus interest to the bankers.
The problem is we have a privately owned central bank system in the United States disguised as a government-owned system. Now, if you look in the telephone book here in the Washington, D.C. area, you look up for Federal Reserve in the blue government pages, it's not there. It's in the white pages right next to Federal Express. It's a privately owned central bank.
Central banks are banking cards.
That might be, let me see. I was loading up the next one here.
Nice.
Jekyll Island.
Yeah, so that's that. So this a little bit more of the history of the central bank and how the central bank is working, and then we're going to kind of go over that.
So what is a central bank? A central bank is an institution that produces the currency of an entire nation. Based on historical precedent, two specific powers are inherent in central banking practice: the control of interest rates and the control of the money supply, or inflation. The central bank does not simply supply a government's economy with money, it loans it to them at interest. Then, through the use of increasing and decreasing the supply of money, the central bank regulates the value of the currency being issued. It is critical to understand that the entire structure of this system can only produce one thing in the long run: debt. It doesn't take a lot of ingenuity to figure this scam out. For every single dollar produced by the central bank is loaned at interest. That means every single dollar produced is actually the dollar plus a certain percent of debt based on that dollar. And since the central bank has the monopoly over the production of the currency for the entire country, and they loan each dollar out with immediate debt attached to it, where does the money to pay for the debt come from? It can only come from the central bank again, which means the central bank has to perpetually increase its money supply to temporarily cover the outstanding debt created, which in turn since that new money is loaned out at interest as well, creates even more debt. The end result of this system without fail is slavery, for it is impossible for the government and thus the public to ever come out of the self-generating debt. At this time, the dominant families in the banking and business world were the Rockefellers, the Morgans, the Warburgs, the Rothschilds. And in the early 1900s, they sought to push once again legislation to create another central bank. However, they knew the government and public were very weary of such an institution, so they needed to create an incident to affect public opinion. So, J.P. Morgan, publicly considered a financial luminary at the time, exploited his mass influence by publishing rumors that a prominent bank in New York was insolvent or bankrupt. Morgan knew this would cause mass hysteria, which would affect other banks as well. And it did. The public, in fear of losing their deposits, immediately began mass withdrawals. Consequently, the banks were forced to call in their loans, causing the recipients to sell their property, and thus a spiral of bankruptcies, repossessions, and turmoil emerged. Putting the pieces together a few years later, Frederick Allen of Life magazine wrote, "The Morgan interests took advantage to precipitate the panic, guiding it shrewdly as it progressed." Unaware of the fraud, the Panic of 1907 led to a congressional investigation headed by Senator Nelson Aldrich, who had intimate ties to the banking cartels and later became part of the Rockefeller family through marriage. The commission, led by Aldrich, recommended a central bank should be implemented so a panic like 1907 could never happen again. And in 1913, with heavy political sponsorship by the bankers, Woodrow Wilson became president, having already agreed to sign the Federal Reserve Act in exchange for campaign support. And 2 days before Christmas, when most of Congress was at home with their families, the Federal Reserve Act was voted in, and Wilson in turn made it law. A world banking system was being set up here, a superstate controlled by international bankers, acting together to enslave the world for their own pleasure. The Fed has usurped the government. Now, the public was told that the Federal Reserve System was an economic stabilizer, and inflation and economic crises were a thing of the past. Well, as history has shown, nothing is further from the truth. The fact is, the international bankers now had a streamlined machine to expand their personal ambitions. For example, from 1914 to 1919, the Fed increased the money supply by nearly 100%. Resulting in extensive loans to small banks and the public. Then, in 1920, the Fed called in mass percentages of the outstanding money supply, thus resulting in the supporting banks having to call in huge numbers of loans, and just like 1907, bank runs, bankruptcy, and collapse occurred. Over 5,400 competitive banks outside of the Federal Reserve System collapsed, further consolidating the monopoly of a small group of international bankers. Privy to this crime, Congressman Lindbergh stepped up and said in 1921, "Under the Federal Reserve Act, panics are scientifically created. The present panic is the first scientifically created one, worked out as we figure a mathematical equation." However, the panic of 1920 was just a warm-up. From 1921 to 1929, the Fed again increased the money supply, resulting once again in extensive loans to the public and banks. There was also a fairly new type of loan called a margin loan in the stock market. Very simply, the margin loan allowed an investor to put down only 10% of a stock's price, with the other 90% being loaned through the broker. In other words, a person could own $1,000 worth of stock with only $100 down. However, there was a catch to this loan. It could be called in at any time and had to be paid within 24 hours. This is termed a margin call, and the typical result of a margin call is the selling of the stock purchased with the loan. So, a few months before October in 1929, J.D. Rockefeller, Bernard Baruch, and other insiders quietly exited the market. And on October 24th, 1929, the New York financiers who furnished the margin loans started calling them in masse. This sparked an instantaneous, massive sell-off in the market, for everyone had to cover the margin loans. It then triggered mass bank runs for the same reason, in turn collapsing over 16,000 banks, enabling the conspiring international bankers to not only buy up rival banks at a discount, but to also buy up whole corporations at pennies on the dollar. It was the greatest robbery in American history. But that didn't stop there. Rather than expanding the money supply in order to recover from this economic collapse, the Fed actually contracted it, fueling one of the largest depressions in history.
So what we have going on here, guys, is a very similar situation in our history, where the central banks have usurped, they've taken over, they bypassed the federal government. Of course, they never give it back. They bypassed it way back then, and they are still in absolute control over the money supply, and that's exactly what's going on. The only way for them to continue what they're doing is to print more money, and by them printing more money, that dilutes you more and more, and that is why everything keeps getting more expensive, and that's why everything is going to continue to get more expensive, and that's why it doesn't matter who we elect, we can't stop the wars, and it doesn't matter who is in Congress, we can't stop anything. We really have no control because they don't really have control. The people who have control are the people that are issuing the money. They're the people that write the checks. You know, that's the whole saying. Who writes the checks is the person in the money, right? The person that controls the money. And so that's what we have. Now, the monetary revolution, the way the monetary revolution works and how we fight back against these people who have taken over much of almost the entire world through this evil banking system, and it is evil, is by not using it, is by getting out of it. Get out of your US dollars that you are, that you can. Okay, it's everything is comes with a risk, but get into gold, get into silver, get into different blockchains, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Global Boost that cannot be inflated and that are going to hold the value more than likely from where they're at. So pretty. I mean, it's funny because I'm doing the Annie play, David, with the girls, right? With
yes.
And it's staged at this time in the 1930s when we got off of the gold standard. So the way the gold standards was actually a very small period of time. We went to paper money in 1864. People don't know this, and then in 1900 we started the gold standard, and that only lasted for a few decades though, and they were already changing stuff as it kind of went on. But in 1933, I think it was, they kind of officially stopped the gold standard. Most people think it was later.
And converted to the Social Security run, which is actually one of the world's worst investments so far. It doesn't really make too much money for people.
It's one of the world's worst investments.
They've really
heard it right here.
You could invest into all kinds of other things and make more profit than Social Security has made.
Yes, it is. It is absolutely correct, and it's a big problem. So what we have is a way that we can fight back, a way that we can save ourselves from this. And if you go to atcostmetals.club, you can sign up. That'll forward you to atcostmetals.com with the referral link clubs with an S.
Yeah.
And
get yourself going. It is a bit of a step-by-step process. We're just getting going on this legendary journey. Every month it's gonna help build yourself. It's like a self-development. It's your own business structure, and it's gonna help your family, your community. It's gonna help you to be healthier, to have peace of mind, that you have some financial security back tucked away. Maybe nobody's gonna know about it, or your loved ones are going to know exactly where to go if anything happens. The world is crazy right now. You got to store some of this stuff in a secure place. So you're consistently growing every month with this club, and we're super excited about it. That's why we come on here. That's why we do this. And you're able to contact us pretty easily. I'm on there on Twitter. I'm on Sir David Porter, and it's easy to reach. So
easy to reach. And as we move forward, we'll have more and more people join us. Of course, it's our second show. We've been doing our Money in the Morning show, which has been a lot of fun, and we're getting a lot of good traction there. Of course, this is our second show with the Porter Brothers, the gold and the silver focus, the AtCost Metals Club, as we grow this thing, and we really want everyone to be a part of it. So I am going to go through some of the steps here that we have about how it works. And there's a couple of different there's two different ways you can do this. One is, of course, just buying metal at cost, just buying gold and silver. Okay. And just buying gold and silver is a great thing to do. And then the other part is, of course, if you want to bring people into it. But we're going to talk for right now, we're going to talk about buying gold and silver and the reasons why to do that. I mean, this is Ron Paul, of course, is one of the great, he told us everything that was going to happen before it happened, right? Ron Paul, I mean, just one of the legends of our time. Ron Paul said inflation is a very simple concept to understand. More money equals less value. It may seem contradictory, but it's very straightforward. Dr. Ron Paul. And then, of course, we have Robert Kiyosaki, who everybody knows, right? This guy, he's been telling you to buy gold, and he was telling you to buy Bitcoin too for the longest time, and I think Litecoin as well, and silver. Silver may be the best possible way to build wealth. Robert Kiyosaki, best-selling financial author. These are quotes are at least 20 years old, but they're probably even truer today. Okay, and with what we have here, this is a club. It's like $149 to join, or $399 if you want to include some metal in there, and you're able to buy at cost. So let me grab there we go. Now, the reasons why this is timely: global uncertainty is all but dictates the necessity of a stable store of value. Now, if you look at what's going on, we have the Houthis. I think they hit 2 more ships today. So what they're doing over there in the Red Sea is, and they're upset that the killing keeps going on over in Israel, and that's their stance. And they're right there by the Red Sea, guys. We are not by the Red Sea. Okay. Now we have a bunch of ships over there, but if we are going to be in the position of making the entire Red Sea safe, I think that's going to be a bit more than we're going to really want to chew off. Okay. Inflation is winning. It is real and it is bad. I mean, I don't think I need to tell you that again, right? I mean, inflation is just absolutely through the roof. Things are double, triple the price. Things are a lot higher. They're a lot higher. And if you just look at how the commodities have skyrocketed, look at Bitcoin, how it's skyrocketed. Look at the other assets. Look at gold. Look at silver. And you'll know and you'll see. But I don't even have to tell you. Just look at your house. Look at your house. We were talking about selling our house a few years ago. Thank God we didn't. I mean, it's like doubled and tripled. It's absolutely unbelievable. And the value of the house in gold hasn't really changed. Okay, it hasn't really changed. The amount of gold that it takes to buy the house is still basically the same, but the amount of US dollars is what's changing. So globally, housing, grocery prices are not sustainable. I have to agree there. If the rate keeps going up on housing, like right now, I posted on my X account, Networks Manager, that you have to be making at least $120,000 a year in order to buy a house right now. So if you're a young person coming up, you have to be making at least $120,000 in order to buy a house right now. And that's really just to buy a house. You need to be doing even more to do more of that. So it's not really sustainable. The rate of pay is not going up with the inflation. The central banks are all printing money at unprecedented rates. And this is what a couple of videos that I just showed you. Unprecedented rates. I mean, they are just continuously printing up the money. I think they were like trying to maybe hide it or maybe try to make it not so obvious for a while there, but they're not even trying anymore. I mean, we're talking about they are just printing and printing and printing and printing and printing. And we also think that is part of the reason, David and I think that's part of the reason why this unchecked migration is coming in, because they're issuing bonds not only for new people that are born in the United States, but they're also, we think, more than likely issuing bonds for all of these illegal aliens or these illegal people or migrants, whatever you want to call them, that are entering illegal. I know once they're here, they're not really illegal anymore because we give them a status. But as they're entering illegally, and then they're issuing a bond, and then the central bank is then able to pump the market with that bond, invest with that bond, push that bond into the market, and further dilute the money supply.
Further, it goes even further. You wouldn't even believe that every time someone is issued a driving citation or a citation and they're drawn into the court is not so much just a judge ruling, but it's actually a bank. The court operates as a bank, and every time you get a number based on your court date and your hearing to court, they create a bond for that, and the bonds are sold at 5 p.m. out the back door of the courthouse daily, every business day, and they create amazing amounts of money this way, money that you wouldn't believe. And that's part of how we're able to send billions and billions and billions to all these other places around the world. And this is how we fund, or they fund, all these things that they're doing.
And the value is not coming out of thin air. Okay,
no.
The currency, the digital, 90% of the U.S. digital dollar, the dollar right now is already digital. People say, "Oh my gosh, I don't want the CBDCs." Guys, it doesn't really matter. Your money's already digital. But what they're doing is they're taking that value from you. So when you look and they say inflation is at 4% or 3% or whatever, and obviously they're lying, and they know it's more like 10 or 12 or 20 or even more. But when that inflation is actually a tax, that's them taking the money from you. That's how they're funding everything. They're just taking it, and you have no say in it. Your representatives have no say in it. You have no control over it. So that is a big problem.
And if you ever don't think that this lunk of metal is holding its value, the government that did this, they also did in 1933, like we were saying, a couple of these world-changing things happened in 1933. They made a call for everyone to turn in their gold and silver, showing its complete value. Anytime they're trying to control something like this, it's the real deal, and you should probably hold it too.
They didn't tell you to turn in your paper money.
No, that you can just do whatever you want. They need the real deal, Holyfield.
So the paper money, they can either freeze, seize, or whatever they want when it's in the bank. It's already digital, and then the paper itself, they can just dilute as they want.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, they have their security numbers on there too. They can track that pretty well.
Yeah, so that's true as well. So the paper currency is going digital. Like I said, you have the BRICS, of course. We talked about BRICS in our Global Boost Genesis block. We talked about BRICS 10 years ago and the effect that was going to have. The lasting effects of COVID and all that stuff on the supply chain. The inflations are still handcuffing the global markets. And these are not opinions, these are facts. Doesn't matter who you are, your nationality, religion, anything, you are feeling this unless your money is sitting in gold or it's silver, or you bought Bitcoin before it tripled, and stuff like that. And this is the way it is. That's how it's working.
Exactly. It's not just an investment strategy. It's actually a form of self-love. To secure your wealth and creating that story of your success. It's part of it.
Story of your success. So why precious metals? Of course, we've gone over some of this as we're talking here, but it holds real tangible value. It is time tested. If you pull up a bunch of gold and silver coins from 1,000 years ago, and you go and try to sell those or get appraised, guess what? It's still worth money, and they're probably going to be worth even more money. They're probably going to be worth even more money than they were, because of course there's the collectible part of it, right? Now, if you're going with silver, or with your paper money, then of course it's nothing. Of course, they didn't do paper back then. There was a constitutional mandate. We did have a constitutional mandate for gold or silver, and that was stopped in 1964. So it's time tested. It's a hedge against inflation. Everybody knows this. Everybody understands this, right? I mean, this is like, these are things that people understand. It's easily
it's not new.
It's not new, and it's easy to explain. Even children want gold or silver.
I mean, it's a great gift. Christmas, birthday, it's amazing gift. And
it's an amazing gift.
You'll never go wrong with your significant other.
Right? Yeah. They'll always take the gold, silver, diamonds, or whatever else, right? They like that stuff.
It's so relatively. Like I said.
Yes, relatively stable during uncertain times. We all know this. This is all stuff we know. I mean, I'm going through it. We're doing this show every day. We're going to start bringing people on as well. People that have come in. We have about we have a very small organization at the moment, but it's growing fast. We have people that are like you that are just signing up. You can sign up for free, and then you fund the account, and then we launch probably the end of this week is when the thing goes. But you want to get in and get your position. Best product to be garage qualified with.
Yeah, that is the most exciting part, is the structure, and we're aiming to have a downline setter going up to $50,000 a month, and it doesn't take too many people to really get involved and start building a residual income from it, and you'll get your coins too. So it's a double win, and that's why we're on board with this company.
Yeah, well, we jumped on it pretty quick. As I mentioned, the central banks are buying gold. They're buying gold at record paces. Countries are buying gold. The central banks are buying gold. Everybody is buying gold and silver. And if you're not, then you should probably change that with AtCost Metals. Costco's hottest item is this new thing. They started selling gold bars. So, AtCost Metals is a club just like Costco, right? You can get gold bars at Costco. You can get gold bars, of course, with our AtCost Metals, okay? And you get it at cost. And at cost means at cost. That's the cost that the dealer is paying for it. So, a lot of guys that say, oh, well, I'm already doing that. I got a good deal going or whatever the deal is. And that's fine, but you're still paying something right now. There's also been states where gold and silver have become legal tender. Okay. Some states have already started doing this. Louisiana, which of course we're on. Isn't it funny? Louisiana, Utah, and Texas. And we are on live on television in Louisiana and Texas. So if you guys are in Louisiana and Texas, we want to talk to you. We really do. And I tell you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to use my phone.
Well, that is a fact. Going back to the courthouses, you're able to pay any fees that you may owe. You're able to pay them in the value of gold and silver.
Yes. And that's right.
They don't necessarily promote that, but it is a fact.
It is a fact. So if you're in Texas, we'd like to hear from you, and you can go to booster.live. That's booster.live/gold.
Yeah, this is
say hi.
This is where we can connect and communicate.
Booster is one of the brainchilds of our company, Global Boost. Decentralized communications, peer-to-peer, encrypted. It's one of the safest ways that you can communicate.
Yes, it's an amazing platform that we've been able to fund the development of, and it's one of our greatest features coming out of Global Boost.
It is. So pretty fun there. We'll leave that room up as well, and we can meet people there. So these states are already allowing it. They have legislation that has passed to recognize gold and silver as legal tender. Okay, and so that's going to continue to get more and more as people are really looking to get out of these dollars, because the dollars are just going so low. Now, as our business plan, we've developed relationships with the largest markets makers in bullion and new numismatic coins.
Yes.
The company, when I say we, it's the company, okay, AtCost Metals, we own all of our networking software. We sell precious metals, bullion at cost to customers. We pay affiliate commissions for finding the customers, and then we manage the anticipation and growth, of course. And it has to make sense for all customers, affiliates, and the company, right? I mean, that's how it works. So
Right.
it's very interesting setup that they have. It's very similar to joining at a Costco or something like this. Okay. More about the company. It's a brand new company. I did fly out and I spoke with the founder, JD, Justin Davis. And if I have a picture of him, I'm going to pull it up here as well. I know I do have a picture, but I didn't have it in my.
And that's what it's all about, right? Building the best network in the world with guys like this, good, solid, sound men, and I'm pretty impressed with what they've done, and we're able to utilize our social medias and this digital network that we've had, and we're pretty pumped about this network that we're able to utilize. We've been building for a decade, or maybe Bruce has been building for 2 decades. I'm not sure. I won't talk about how long he's been building the network, but man, he has a phone list like you wouldn't believe.
That's true, and we're just getting started over here. So it's a brand new company. The offering is true. It's actual at-cost pricing on precious metals. It is valuable, numismatic, fuel residuals. Emphasis on value, and it's a lucrative compensation plan that we have with that as well. So the company, we're super excited about it. We also have a great team. I got on a Zoom last night, and of course there was we were talking with some of the guys. They got some pro ball players and stuff like that. So what's the big deal? Dealer direct versus at cost. If you buy from a dealer, you're buying dealer direct. That literally has no bearing on the price rather than refers to who sold it to you. So if you're buying dealer direct, you're buying it from the dealer, right? And you're paying whatever markup that he gives you. At cost means that the price that the dealer pays is the same price that the customer pays. So at cost means that you are getting the coins for the same price as you're getting the dealer cost. And that's what at cost metals means, right? It's at cost gold and silver. And of course, there's a bunch of different things that we do as well. And it means it's the same. So look at the various websites, and it should be plain as day. This is concurrent real-time price comparison of the price of a single silver eagle, which is the most purchased coin on the web in the world. Wow. Random company is $29.90. Big online is $31.01. Random company, another one, $31.54. Big online company, $31.24. With at cost metals, it's $26.48. And so that's their profit margin right there, right? So they have their small profit margin that they're using, and that's how they make money. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? But by getting the membership, you get the membership, and then you're able to buy at cost.
And thanks to the network that's created this, they go back into the big vault. They're like kings themselves almost, and they're ready to distribute the wealth. And we're on board to help people find their security in it as well.
So what does that mean by percentages? So if at cost metals is $26.48 for the same silver eagle that other companies are charging $29.90, that means 12% difference. That's huge. If silver or gold goes up 12%, if you go up 12% this year on what you're buying, that's amazing. The similar company B, 18%. Big online company, 16%, 17%. If you're buying the exact same thing, why would you pay 12 to 18% more?
Exactly. Sometimes you don't even realize the deal you're getting. And if you're able to save 10, 20%, you have to take it. And this is a way to do it.
This is the way to do it. So we also have the DAP Vault, is what they call it, the digital and physical, okay? Incremental fractional purchasing is available. This is one of the most powerful features of the at-cost metals. It's the ability of a customer to buy precious metals incrementally. So you can buy as little as $1 or $5 or $20, and that's totally fine. Even if $1 million is your choice, that's fine too. Make all is very happy, okay? the amount of metal, including you, the amount of metal you have purchased is tracked to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 decimal of an ounce and displayed in your My Metals page. And this means you can accumulate metal at your own pace, like it should
Yes. And that's what it's about, right? It's not only what you can gain, but what you can give. And that's really what's going to open the doors. That's what networking does for you. And if you go in, it helps a lot of people. And if you give, it's going to help a lot of people. So I would navigate this structure of downline appropriately to really get the most value out of it, and let us help you do it.
All of the metal that you purchase is yours. It is physically held in the DAP vault. Now, as I'm saying this, we're talking about the vault now. You can have it all shipped to you. Now, if you're doing the incremental purchasing, that's different. Okay, that's in the vault. But everything that you buy, you can either have in the vault or have shipped to you at cost. And maybe you want to do a little bit of both. Okay, you can have it shipped or you can sell it. And if you sell it, your cash account increases by the sale amount, and you can withdraw that amount or use it to purchase more metal. Again, the choice is yours. This is that's what the monetary revolution is all about. It's about taking power back from the people who have enslaved us, back from the central bankers who have taken over. They've bypassed the Constitution and the structures, the legal structures that we have, that our forefathers put in place to protect us and to keep us free.
Yes. So if you know someone interested and you're interested yourself, let's start to build this out. We have how long? A week and a half before the launch of the company, and it's best to get in now.
It is. So get in now, contact us, sign up, and then we can talk from there, or just contact us first. We can talk from there. Obviously, we're doing this show every day. We're going to feature more and more people on this show. We're going to talk about more and more things. Just getting started here, as we did in the morning show. Really interesting guests. Another plug for our morning show. Interesting guests that we have on the morning show tomorrow. Money in the Morning. You're going to love this guy. He was talking about gold as well, and he's predicted a whole bunch of stuff. So that's going to be really, really cool. So why Vault? The most economical way to service our customers is with this vault. Okay. Now, again, you can have it shipped to you. You can have it stored in the vault. The highest ranked and rated vault company. And this is not just our vault. This is a large vault that is used by multiple different companies and nationalities. They are multinational, proven to be the highest level of security, safety, and service. We utilize multiple Class 3 state-of-the-art vaults and the highest possible vault rating. Our vaulting facilities they're highly secure. Okay, this is like the most secure vaulting that you can have. Okay, each facility is constructed with impenetrable walls, internal barriers. All locks require several methods to be verified of access before someone can enter. The vaulting process has dual control procedures, which is requiring multiple people to perform separate duties simultaneously in order to get in. All the stuff that you would think that you need to do, you have on this thing, we have it. Okay. The founder of the company, Justin Davis, this is not his first time around. His father and him built another company. They sold it years ago, and that company is still around as well. So that bodes well for how these things work. Our customers' precious metals are held in as bailment and not as deposits or consignment, offering protection to the customers because assets cannot be seized to pay depository debts, meaning that if the vault for some reason gets in trouble, you are protected. We have strict proven processes that ensure customers' precious metals deposits are secure, investor data is kept private, and we ensure discreet, confidential treatment of all aspects of customer accounts. We also maintain all risks insurance as well as additional policies that cover acts of terrorism, which we all know is something that's on everybody's mind at the moment. We have strict inventory controls, real-time reporting available 24/7. You always know what's there. Expedient processing of shipping, fully insured delivery, international delivery, custom clearance. And guys, this is international. I know a couple of my international friends have asked me about that. This is an international deal, and it's worldwide, okay? And we ship worldwide. And this is the vault, but you don't have to keep it in the vault. Maybe you want to keep some in the vault, and then maybe you want to take some and have it at home, right? I wouldn't recommend a few $1 million or too many millions of dollars anyway at home. So there's two packages, or I guess, there's two main packages to start, okay? And that's the package offerings. And this is joining the club so that you can buy metal at cost, okay? So $399 is the Metals Plus package, and that's 18 months, unlimited at cost pricing of physical precious metals, bullion, access to specialty collectible products, and access to the DAP trading vault. And it also includes 3 perfect MS70 graded numismatic silver coins. And those are pretty exciting. We played a video of that yesterday of how those have increased in value. It's really, really impressive. We also have the 149 metals package, and that's 1 year of unlimited at cost pricing of physical precious metals, bullion, access to specialty collectible products, and access to the DAP trading vault. It's $199 a year value. Now, that does not include your 3 silver coins, okay? So if you're going to do it, obviously you probably want some silver, then you pick that. But otherwise, you can also do that. Now, once you're a member, you have a $75 get ahead monthly program, and really we'll talk ever. You don't have to do it, but you should do it. You do that plan, you get your MS70 or PR70, both perfect graded numismatic silver eagles every month, or other similar graded coins will be available in the shopping cart that you can pick from. And that, of course, keeps everything active. That also qualifies you for affiliate commissions, okay? Specialty bullion. We offer a more selective variety of coins, rounds, and bars from around the world at below typical retail prices. This is a great way to broaden your horizons, okay? Now, the coins, of course, these are like, the most popular. Everybody loves the coins. They're easy to deal with. They're easy to understand. Bullion and the bars and stuff like that is pretty sexy, really. You want to have both. But that coin of the month program is pretty exciting. So now the way the comp plan works, very easy comp plan, okay? 149 metals package. If you sign up right now, you go to atcostmetals.club, you sign up, you fund it with $149, okay, and that gives you the year in to be able to buy metals at cost. There's a $25 direct commission that's paid out, and you get 30 points in the binary. And I ran through this yesterday, and if you look, my X account, Networks Manager, is always very active, but ask AtCost Metal as well, not with an S, just AtCost Metal on X. And I have all of this stuff right there, and you can look as well, okay? The $399 Metals Plus package, of course, you get a 1.5 membership, and that pays $50 in the direct bonus to whoever signed that person up or whoever was the referrer person, and that puts 100 points into the binary. The $75 get ahead monthly coin is 20 points in the binary, and that starts to play out pretty exciting as we saw yesterday, David. Down 10 levels, and it was paying over $150,000 per month, not including a lot of the other stuff. So the binary team cycles every time there's 500 points on both sides. And I missed the specialty bullion, 1 to 50 points for the binary. And so it depends on the bullion and how much you're getting and all of those things, okay? So once you have 500 points on either side, that's when it cycles and you make $500. Okay, so if you have 5 people that get in on one side and 5 people on the other side, maybe you personally only did 2 of them, but then you helped them get 2 and them get 2, and all of a sudden now you have 5 on each side. They do the $399 package. You'll of course get your direct commission, and then you get your 500 points paid in, and you get the 500 on that cycle. Not so exciting in the first few levels. It starts to get exciting really after that. Now, everybody, there's the matching bonus as well. Everybody that you personally refer, you get a 10% matching bonus for all of them. So, if you go 100 wide and you have 100 people and they're each making, $10,000 per month, you make $1,000 off of each of those, or per week, okay, because it pays per week. So that's 10% match on personal referrals, team, cycles, or affiliates ranked in the silver and gold. And the way the ranking goes is by how many people that you personally refer, okay? And there's also the pot of gold. Pot of gold bonus, 50% of the commissions revenue from the top of the network is shared among all of the gold people. And to be gold, you have to refer 6 people, okay? And that's the way that works. This also pays for promos and events. That's the second half. The other 50% pays for the different events and whatnot that we have.
That's the fun stuff.
That's the fun stuff, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. That's where you surround yourself with this positive thinking type people. And, it's not always a straight path on how it's going to roll out, but you have to keep going for it and build it as part of your career and set those goals, and you start to see results and the payout. You see it on that last slide there, and it's looking pretty good. Well, this payout is looking hefty, huh?
So this is the ranks. This is what I was talking about, the gold, the silver, and affiliate. So if you're an affiliate, if you have referred one person in, one personally sponsored active customer, and you can make $2,000 a week off of that. And that means that, a lot of stuff can go on underneath you. I mean, we have people that have been put under us that we don't know who they are either already. And that's what happens when you have a binary system where it goes too wide like this, okay? So you're capped at $2,000 that you can make. So every time $2,000 goes between your one leg and the other leg, you're going to make $2,000, and that's how that works. And then once you refer 3 people, personally sponsored active customers, then you can make up to $10,000. So that means that once you have 10,000 and 10,000, then of course you're making 10,000 per week, and these are per week caps, okay? And that's how the company, of course, makes sure that they keep everything working. And then to the gold level, 6 personally sponsored active customers, left and right, with personally sponsored active silver. So in this level, and the level above that, you needed a personally sponsored active affiliate on your left and the right, and here you need personally sponsored active silver on your left and your right. And then your cap is 30,000 per week per pay period. Week is the pay period. Okay, so that's
when we call you a champion.
That's when it starts getting fun. That's when you start thinking about adding other positions and all these types of things, right? And you're like, well, 30,000 a week is not really enough for me. I mean, that's not even $100,000 a month. How am I going to survive? $100,000 a month should be the minimum of what you want to be making, really, in times like this. We also have some additional compensation. Additional compensation information. Points can begin to accumulate as soon as you are placed in the matrix into the genealogy, and can accumulate up to your max based on rank. 2,000 points for 2K points for affiliate, 10K points for silver, 30K points for gold. AtCost means that that's the price of the dealer. So this is just additional information, right? That's the cost that the dealer pays. So you're paying the same cost as the dealers pay. Now, this is a really important part as well. Unused points remain intact. They don't reset, so you never lose them. So if there's $1,000 that goes down one side and you don't have anything on the other side, as soon as that other side does $1,000, you get paid $1,000, okay? Or if it takes more than weeks, if you have 500, then you get 500, and then when you get 500 again, you'll get paid the other 500. It never flushes. Very important for a system like this because it happens all the time that they flush. Unused points remain intact. Pay period is Sunday a.m. to Saturday p.m. Eastern Standard Time, U.S. We compress the direct and the 10% match when appropriate. That means when they compress, if somebody is not didn't do their $75 or they didn't sponsor somebody in order to qualify for commission. 75% hard cap on commissions to ensure the company stays open. That is a very good thing. That's one of the reasons I flew out to see Justin Davis. One of the reasons I went in there and talked to JD myself, because I wanted to understand before I started telling people to sign up in this thing that it was going to stay open. Because a big problem with companies like this is that a lot of times they end up paying out too much and they don't realize it until it's too late. Right. Leadership in the field have input on the direction of the company. I can tell you that 100%. I said, hey, I need to come out before I talk to my people. I need to know that you're real and I need to know. And he said, okay, come out here, Bruce, and let's talk. Income disclosures. There are no guarantees regarding income of AtCost Metals opportunity. The success or failure of each affiliate, as in any business like crypto or anything else, depends on each affiliate's skill and the personal efforts. Earning levels for an AtCost Metals affiliate that may appear are just examples and should not be construed as typical or average. Income levels, achievements are dependent upon the individual's affiliate's business skills, personal ambition, time, commitment, activity, and also demographic factors. And it's also what team you're on, what team that you're on. And that's why I tell you guys, go over AtCostMetals.club, sign up in our organization. We're going to work with you. You want to come on here. You want to be on TV in Texas and Louisiana. You want to go on a YouTube with 1.73 million subscribers. You want to get on the Twitter with 133. You want to be a star? Well, we'll make you a star, okay? If you don't want to be a star, that's fine too, but we're working here with you. Every time that you make money, we make money. And that's the fun thing about network marketing.
Yes, it's the love of success, and we're working with the sound money, the most sound money that is proven time and time again over history. And the power of networking goes throughout the world. We're all on the internet, right? We're all able to reach out and pull some love in. And we're going to continue that, and we'll be working very hard, and we will see the rewards of our hard work.
Well, that is absolutely correct. And that's why we're so we're just excited about it. And David and I, we're like, okay, let's do it. Let's go. Let's pump it up. We're going to do a show every day until we're maxing this thing out.
Exactly. We know what we're capable of. We know what we're working with. We know our tools to the trade very well. And like I told you before, how long have we been working at this? We have connections, and we're going to be able to really build out this project. It's amazing, and what an opportunity for us. So big thanks to JD, Justin Davis, and taking us in, and Jared as well.
Jared Arms, big Jared Arms. I wanted to play. I got a good video here real quick. This is interesting. We only have a couple minutes here. This is the AtCost Metal on Twitter. 10 of these would have bought an average home in 1920.
Yes.
10 of these will buy you an average home in 2024 as well.
And by average, we're talking a pretty sweet home.
Pretty sweet home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, here we go. 144, and then we'll close out here.
Purchasing and storing precious metals can be a daunting endeavor. The hurdles are many, from high markups and hidden fees to the logistical nightmare of secure storage. Even figuring out the authenticity of your purchase can be a nail-biting experience. Imagine a world where these complications are no longer your concern. Welcome to the future with AtCost Metals, where the complexities of traditional methods are replaced with simplicity, security, and savings. This is the world of our membership-based service. For an annual fee of $149 or $399, you gain access to a treasure trove of benefits that make precious metals purchasing a breeze. Picture this: buying precious metals at cost, with no markups, no hidden fees, just the pure value of the metal itself. But the advantages don't stop there. Our service doesn't just give you precious metals at cost, it also provides a digital and physical vault with the highest level of security. No more worrying about burglars or natural disasters. Your precious metals are safe in our DApp vault, accessible anytime, anywhere. Now, you might be asking, what about shipping? We've got you covered. Enjoy free or at-cost shipping, depending on your membership tier. This means more savings for you, more value for your investment. In the world of precious metals investment, our service is a game changer. It's not just a better way to buy and store precious metals, it's the best way. Don't let the complexities of traditional methods deter you from the lucrative world of precious metals. Sign up for a membership today. Secure your wealth, ensure your future. Welcome to the new age of precious metal investment. Welcome to a world of security, simplicity, and savings.
All right, dude.
Yes, sir. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. See you at the top.
Yes.